What is going on, everyone? The Houston Texans wide receiver room looks a little different. There were some additions this free agency period. The biggest one, though, was the Houston Texans trading a late-round draft pick for Jags wide receiver Christian Kirk, a rare trade within the division. Speaking of Christian Kirk, we have some breaking news. According to Aaron Wilson, the Houston Texans are restructuring wide receiver Christian Kirk's contract. This opens up around $12 million in cap space. Is that $12 million going to be used for the rookie contracts? Is it going to be used for a Derek Stingley contract extension? Is there someone else out there that Nick Caserio wants? Hey, we'll never know. But I wanted to ask you guys. I want to ask you to rate your confidence in this wide receiver group on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm going to let you know my thoughts, but my name is Ruben Calavillo, and this is the 713 Houston Sportcast, where I drop daily Houston Texans content. So make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest Houston Texans news, rumors, and updates. Now I'm going to give you guys my rate. How comfortable am I in this Houston Texans wide receiving group on a scale from 1 to 10? I'm going to go 5. No, I'm going to go 6. And the big reason why my score is there is because of health. Nico Collins missed a lot of time last year due to a hamstring injury. Christian Kirk, his season was over due to a broken collarbone. Braxton Berrios, his season ended due to an ACL tear. If healthy, I have confidence that this wide receiving group can put up some numbers and be explosive. But I think right now, if is a big question. But let's talk about your number one wide receiver, and that is Nico Collins. 68 catches for you this season, 1,006 yards, 7 touchdowns. Before Nico Collins went out with injury, he was leading the league in receiving yards per game. We were actually having conversations about, is Nico Collins a top 3 wide receiver? He was already a top 5. But he was doing so fantastic at the beginning of the year before his hamstring injury. We were really having a conversation. Is he a top 3 wide receiver? And if Nico Collins doesn't get hurt and he kept up the production all year, we would have been having the conversation. Is Nico Collins the best wide receiver in the NFL? If healthy, I think Nico Collins is going to have a fantastic year. And like CJ Stroud said in a press conference, this is our modern day Andre Johnson. And I have to say, I have to agree. Nico Collins is fantastic, man. You know 12's out there somewhere waiting to make a big play happen. Your wide receiver 2, Christian Kirk. This season with the Jacksonville Jaguars, like I mentioned, a broken collarbone, 27 catches, 379 yards, 1 touchdown. His stats last year, 57 catches, 787 yards, 3 tutties. His first season in Jacksonville, which was his best of his career, 84 catches, 1,108 yards, 8 touchdowns. Now, Christian Kirk, from what he posted on social media on the Houston Texans account, he is very happy to be here. He gets an opportunity to play in the playoffs, play for an AFC championship, play for a Super Bowl. He said that he's been, working out, has been working out to make sure that he is healthy and ready to go. I do like this move for the Houston Texans. What I love about Christian Kirk is the route running, is the separation, is finding the weaknesses in defenses. The only kind of con of Christian Kirk is he does drop the occasional big pass. Just going to be honest with you. However, I'm excited to see what he could potentially do here in Houston as the number 2 wide receiver for the Texans and CJ Stroud. Your wide receiver number 3, I think right now, is either Justin Watson or Braxton Berrios. Now, Braxton Berrios, I think, is here for mainly the special teams, was an all-pro a couple of years ago as a returner. I think Justin Watson, given the fact that he, was healthy last season, been in the playoffs, won Super Bowls. I think he might be your wide receiver 3. I could understand some Xavier Hutchinson. I could understand some John Mechie. But to be honest with you guys, these 2 wide receivers that were brought in for agency, Braxton Berrios and Justin Watson, are competition for John Mechie and Xavier Hutchinson. May the best man win. But if you're asking me who do I think is going to be wide receiver 3, I think it is Justin Watson. What do I think happens with John Mechie? I'm not too sure. I don't know if there's a place on this team for John Mechie. You would hope so, because what the Los Angeles Rams ask of their wide receivers is route running and blocking. And John Mechie, put on the tape, he does those 2 things pretty well. I'm really wondering about Braxton Berrios, because I could see a scenario where he is just making plays in training camp in the preseason, and we're like, yeah, this dude is a legit number 3, number 4 guy. I like the competition that the Houston Texans have at the wide receiver group, the same way I like the competition that they have in the offensive line group, and that's another video for another day. But I think for sure your number 1 and 2 wide receivers are Nico Collins, Christian Kirk. No surprise there. No arguments there. Who is going to be number 3? I say it's Justin Watson. From what he did with the Kansas City Chiefs, let me pull up the stats right here. I think he had a pretty respectable season 2 years ago. So 22 catches, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2023, 27 catches, 460 yards, and 3 tutties. Let me make sure to see if he played a full season. And he, in fact, did. Played in 17, started in 7. But ladies and gentlemen, this Houston Texans wide receiving group is different. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Now, this is before they added, someone else. And we are still weeks away from the NFL draft. So hopefully I'm able to talk about another wide receiver being added there. But for more Houston Texans content, you guys all know what to do. Feel free to follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.